6/27, Thursday, February 5th. Oh boy. I walked by this mirror, pulled my shirt up, I had to pee so bad. Then I noticed I lost my tan. My face darker than my chest. This one is really brightening the nigga up. Hands don't even match. Like, yeah, I'm losing my tan. Definitely losing my tan. Dang. As soon as it warm up outside, I got you some suntan. Get my favorite shade of brown back. At least get my face to match my stomach. Oh Lord. Picked up my daddy about that nigga glowing, getting lighter and brighter, and shit. Now I'm doing it. So you know I'm on camera. Nah, that ain't the only reason why I'm on camera. I'm ready to roll up. Yeah. First started charging session. It's time to charge up. Yeah. Actually, fuck it. Oh boy. That's consistent in my good things. I'm kind of consistent, period. Consistency is important, but it's respectable. I have to be good enough for now. I actually had a great conversation today. I went to work. Homie kept a nice good conversation rolling. But I didn't make no money till I got up off the phone. He didn't say it like that, but shit. Even he laughed at it. So we're both happy to see me reach my bare minimum. Much as I want to go out there and cut it up with him. Now it's family time. Even though I don't got a family on me, I got to approach on other people's family time. Yeah, I've been adopted before. I think it's a great event too before. But man, I keep a safe distance. Cause short visits make long friends. Long visits make short friends. Shit, if you ain't like that by now, You always gonna have a whole bunch of situationships. Sometimes a little does a lot more than a whole lot. I've learned that in my experience. But I did enjoy our conversation today. It was fun. I also pissed me off at the fact that, I got a little too into the conversation. And realized, oh shit. Now I gotta have this conversation on an actual platform. Because the way the conversation went, it's more of a public discussion than a private conversation. But as soon as I get his ass, big ass, to actually sit in front of a camera and do a podcast, then we can get into that. Until then, all I can say is coming soon, like Jesus. I think it was the longest nut in world history. He's been coming for 2,000 years. The beautiful thing about accepting something fully, unconditionally, you can get away with blasphemy. And it's just a more enduring relationship. But I ain't jumping shit. That's some crazy shit there. There we go. So glad the lobby actually empty right now. Ain't gotta worry about nobody sliding out this door. Bigger than a motherfucker. Shouldn't be sweating like this in February. Real talk, I shouldn't be sweating like this in February. Feels like summertime in the middle of the winter. That means I'm really moving for something. A lot of motion don't mean progress. But the way I've been staying in motion, camouflaging my progress, they won't notice until it's too late to stop it. And that's what got me about earlier's conversation. My different approach on similar subjects we discussed before. But my different approach is totally different. It still made a clear point and actually might have made more progress with making my point by using a totally different approach. I don't debate, I inquire, I get curious. A lot of times when people debate, they just want to be right on what they speaking on. But sometimes it's harder to explain how you right when you feeling like you right. But if you can't explain how what you feel is right, and your feelings trick you up, I tend to keep my feelings at a distance and always proceed with logic. Because that's the safety feature on all of my emotions. The logic filter. Taking the time to quickly think about stuff people feel about.
Prevents me from getting the same results most people get when they only feel about things. Critical thinking prevents a lot of the negative side effects acting impulsively on emotions lead to. Emotions aren't supposed to be the poison of humanity. It's supposed to be the inspiration of humanity. But if not carefully disciplined, emotions will lead to nothing but your downfall. You got to know how to regulate these things. And that's where the logic filter prevents my emotions from putting me in bad situations. Before I get all deep in my feelings, let's run it through this logic filter. And let's see if we logically got a reason to feel like this, that, there, the third. It's a very simple science, but you can make it too complicated to work with if you choose to. That's the beauty of the shit. You got to choose what you want to do with it. If you don't choose how to regulate your own emotions, your opponent will take advantage of that. Adversary will capitalize on that. If you're always running around allowing emotion to lead you, it's going to lead you right to the quicksand you can't get out of. No matter how you feel about fighting it, you're just pushing yourself in deeper. That's why being careful with your emotions is so important. There's more than the ones we don't like, and there's more than the ones we always feel. You gotta know how to dance through all of them and not be stuck in just a few of them, because then you miss the rest that life has to offer. Being stuck in fear, worry, or survival mode. Infrastructure. Call ourselves civilized. Nobody should be in survival mode. Otherwise, all this infrastructure is just cons and schemes. Like, real talk. If you fear the police, then the police are in a form of protection. If you worried the policymakers gonna make policy that set you at a disadvantage, then that system ain't governing you for your benefit. The beautiful thing about that is, if they take a seat in an office, what they're supposed to do what's best for the populace. They can't make no moves. They can't put shit in print that goes against the populace. Point blank, period. And if they do, all the populace got to do is not cooperate, and that shit just looks stupid on paper. But if we get all wrapped up in our emotions and don't think critically, they'll get to run that shit every day, all day. And that's why we got this concept called police brutality. First thing first about police brutality. We're supposed to have people that's looking to protect the people, not brutalize the people. So there are policymakers that prevent the people being brutalized. So if that system is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, then shit, you gotta stop feeding their bodies. Understand, firm, if nobody put on a uniform and a bulletproof suit and the bulletproof vests and the fun belts, then nobody can get beat up by them uniforms. So, if every person that wanted to put on a uniform to protect their community and their people just did that without the uniform, then that uniform can't be having lawsuits of police brutality. It'd be in different cases. But the police department won't be a problem And I'm so glad the area that I sleep in, I got good cops that ride around and don't bother niggas. I want to give them a shout out to all the ones in the uniform actually doing what they supposed to be doing in the uniform. For the most part, so more people doing the right thing in that job is affection than there is ones doing wrong. Can't throw the baby out the bathwater. You got to cut out the bad parts, separate the weeds from the harvest, instead of just burning the whole damn harvest. But if you have a whole system, even though the good people in it can't do no good, just don't work with it. Establish some competition instead of letting them monopolize it. Yeah, I hate to encourage neighborhood watch, but shit, neighborhood watch watched out for me a lot, so I can't hate on them. When I watch the neighborhood come out and say they got the wrong nigga while I was in the backseat of the car, yeah, I would like to encourage people to build up neighborhood watches amongst their community to protect the community. So that way when the uniforms ain't acting right, y'all can come out and mob and let them know they got the wrong nigga. I mean, they heard. I was good. I did need some tape on my chest, so they helped me go get my chest taped up in a place to rest for the night. Yeah, I'm a comedian, even about serious shit, but if we take it too seriously, we ain't gonna be able to deal with it. For real. Sometimes you gotta make light of it enough to get through it instead of getting buried under the weight of it. But like I said, them programs and systems can't work without people's cooperation. And if we don't cooperate with them, and we give them an alternative to show their incompetence is not needed, they'll go away. But like I said, we gotta start building our communities together instead of finding reasons not to trust each other. House divided can't stand. And an angry man can't fight because his own anger blinds him.